Hi, I'm Jonatan Schwenk, the director of the short film Zoon. The creation of this film started from my own contemplation on how to find pleasure, joy and happiness. We mainly observed two species living in a nocturnal forest. One of the species are axolotls. They are quite down to earth and don't need much more from life than themselves living happily together. Until, unfortunately for the glowing axolotls, a two-legged creature comes along and devours one of them. This species wants more from life. They are super curious, take more risks and don't think too much, taking them to places they have never been before. Since the two species are so different, it made sense for me to differentiate them technically as well. I chose stop motion for the axolotls because I found that white modeling clay looks so delicious. It reminds me of Haribo's white mice. Plus, the particular kids' clay is super light and therefore very uncomplicated. I only had to build very rudimentary wire armatures. If something looked odd, I could easily correct the shape directly on set. So the axolotls were moved and photographed frame by frame, mostly at 24 frames per second. For the bipeds, I choose puppeteering. I wanted their movements to look playful and fluid, but also natural and a bit unpredictable. The technique is faster than stop motion too. The movements are filmed in real time. Talented puppet maker Anne figured out the inner workings of the puppets, and the skins were then sewn by my dear studio colleague Helene from women's stockings.
Mach mal die Arme nach oben.
Zappelt er nicht.
Schräg. Man könnte eine ganze Wissenschaft draus machen.
The puppets were controlled using rods, and for that we spent 5 days in a film studio in Berlin. For many scenes, 2 puppeteers could do the job adeptly, like Talke and Max here. For other scenes, we had up to 6 people on the puppets simultaneously.
Langsam an vorzubewegen. Team Anne geht kaum wert. Max Blick, Rückblick.
Gut, bereit?
Neither I nor anyone else in the team had worked with puppeteering before, but we were all motivated to try it out.
Doch, das ist schon noch
geil, oder? Das ist
super
gut.
schön.
Und dann die Beine noch so raus,
Mit
genau.
diesem Knautschen, ja.
Und ich darf eigentlich auch gar nicht da stehen.
Okay.
For me, who was more accustomed to animating alone behind a curtain for weeks, it was a blast to see how quickly everything suddenly happened.
Vorbeugen.
And it was simply tremendous fun to work together with full concentration on one thing.
Ja, sehr schön. Ja, genau. Und noch einmal la. Sehr geil. Ein bisschen winken. Ja, du musst hier gucken. Also ich glaube, das ist schon...
Shortly after the shooting, COVID hit and we were able to tackle the elaborate post-production from our home offices. The characters had to be cut out and the heads, arms and legs were tracked in mocha. This let us attach the faces, hands and feet that had been hand-drawn in TV paint by the brilliant Marta Magnuska. For the supporting characters, we used several techniques and materials. I kept the armatures very simple because I only needed them for very few scenes. The backgrounds were also made from various techniques. Some are digitally painted. Some used photos of a few build elements, partly made from stockings again. And I also incorporated 3D blender elements built by Ferdinand too, who also did a great job as a cinematographer for the puppet shoot.
Ich kann dir auch anbieten, das in 50 Frames zu tun.
The sound, crafted by our talented sound designer and composer David Kamp, mirrors the film's journey from forest floor to sky. It evolves dynamically, transitioning from subtle to grand, from low to loud, and from sparse to rich, echoing the visual transformation from darkness to brightness.
Drei, 2, 1, 0.